Testing, testing.
Number 4. It's a number.
Perfect. Thank you.
Can you start?
Perfect.
You will have cross, it's a number and flower.
You get the drill?
Number 4. It's a number.
Perfect. Thank you.
Can you start?
Perfect.
You will have
Tell me where you're going and I'll move to
Hi everybody and welcome along to the Cricket Hong Kong Women's Division 1 2020 final between Kowloon Cricket Club and Hong Kong Cricket Club. We've had a slightly delayed start with the teams ready to go out, batsmen and umpires in the middle, and we're ready to get underway. Grateful to be hosting this game at Hong Kong Cricket Club. Great opportunity with most of the women's fixtures in the regular league season played on artificial wickets, but a great opportunity to play the final on a turf wicket. And it looks like we have the experienced Keanu Gill facing up to take first ball against another very experienced opponent in what looks like Jasmine Titmus from the Forest end.
I think that's Tinaz at this end. Is it Tinaz at this end?
Yeah.
And we've got
That was Kim.
and we have Tinaz batting at the non-strikers end. I have with me next to me in the commentary booth Tracy Walker, who's a player for the Hong Kong Cricket Club Division 2 side and also a Cricket Hong Kong board member. Welcome along, Tracy.
Thanks, Mark. How are you today?
Very good, very good. Excited and looking forward to what should hopefully be a great game of cricket. There's something always special about finals in any sport and at any level. Whatever's happening, finals cricket and final sport is always exciting. You never really know what's going to happen, and looking at the excitement in the girls this morning, I think they're all absolutely raring to go.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mark. Anything can happen in a final, and actually anything can happen in cricket, right? So looking forward to a beautiful day here. We've got a bit of a breeze. Here comes Jasmine in for the first ball.
And a nervous start. Wide outside off, just starting it wide and it's swinging away too.
And that's the thing with the finals, right? The nerves can actually play a huge factor. Need to make sure everybody gets hold of those nerves and settles in for the day.
So I believe HKCC won the toss and chose to bat first. That's a statement of intent, I think, putting some runs on the board and using that scoreboard pressure. That's probably what they'll be hopeful for, as Keanu opens her account, taking the outside edge down to third man. At the end of this over, we'll take you through the team lists and bring you up to speed with who's playing from both sides. It's over pitched and down the leg side. Not the start Jasmine would have been after, and can sometimes be tough. You really want to get off to that good start, get through the nerves and get into the game.
She doesn't seem to be that smooth in her run-up today, so I don't know whether maybe it's nerves or whether she's changed her run up a little bit.
Going wide outside off again. It's actually remarkably quiet out there. Very subdued start from the Hong Kong Cricket Club side, and they'll be looking for their bowlers to try and lead from the front here and get them into the game. A big wicket early will get them into the game and certainly put some pressure on KCC.
That's a better ball, right up into the block hole, and seems to have gotten her direction better as well. So hopefully those couple of warm-ups have gotten her into her rhythm now.
Another wide sliding down leg side. That's a tough start. I saw Jasmine this morning. She said she was a little bit nervous before going up to the cricket club nets for a bowl and a hit. She'll certainly be hoping to turn this around. For those that don't know, Jasmine used to work at Hong Kong Cricket Club as a cricket coach, so she's very aware of the game and how to play it. But like we said at the start, final sport can do funny things.
And prior to coming to Hong Kong, Jasmine actually played with Lancashire and captained their team there for a number of years. So, huge amount of experience in such a reasonably young player as well. So, hopefully she can use some of that previous experience as a youngster and get her direction. Oh, that's much better. Just going past the outside edge there. The peel from behind seemed to think that they got something on that, but I think that was confident that missed the outside edge.
I think that was just optimistic and maybe a celebration of a ball challenging the batsman. Certainly if she can start stringing together regular deliveries like that, then it's going to make it tough for the Kowloon Cricket Club batsman. But not to be. This Kowloon Cricket Club opening pair, Kinu is currently top of the 2020 Women's League batting rankings, averaging 101 with 250. So a few not outs there that have really taken the game home for the KCC maidens. So that's straight and just defended by Tinaz. And Tinaz, who's just shaped up there, 10th on the batting lists for the Women's T20 League. With a top score of 37 not out and averaging just a shade under 20. And if both these batsmen can put on that sort of show, that'll put on a great opening stand for the Kowloon Cricket Club side. Again, just defended into the offside for no run.
Yeah, I think the Kowloon Cricket Club Kinu Gill this year has been outstanding with both the bat and the ball, so she's really played very well and I think is right up there in relation to the overall MVP for the competition. In fact, some may say that this match today is the competition between Kinu Gill and Mariko Hill, which are the top 1 and 2 in relation to the total MVP scores at the moment. And if both of those players fire, we could have some amazing batting going on today. They're both very strong with the bat, can pick off the loose ball, the short ball, and with the shortish boundaries, wide of the wicket today, it would be interesting to see how they could go with that. Looks like interesting, starting with spin from the far end there with Betty Chan coming in. Betty Chan, one of the most experienced bowlers that we have in this team. Played with the national team for a number of years. Very difficult to get Betty away, so I guess the Hong Kong Cricket Club here is thinking, let's try and get our top bowler Betty Chan on as soon as possible and try to really get that surprise wicket. Good flight there, but a little bit wide of off stump The umpires getting a lot of practice there with their wide signals.
It's not, I've got the right logo.
On YouTube,
Right down the stand.
That's a better ball there by Betty.
Yeah, Betty's going to be a key bowler in this innings, and if she can just bowl the way she normally does, which is very consistent, she may be in business. But I think the challenge here for the Hong Kong Cricket Club, Willow Wielders, is going to be taking early wickets. And if they can't take early wickets and break this partnership and get Kinu, who, as we said before, is the strongest batswoman in the league, then that's going to present a challenge for them. Kinu very different to Mariko in her batting style. She's not afraid to just sit there and soak up some dot balls and some pressure and play a much longer innings, whereas Mariko probably likes to take the attack to the bowlers a little bit more. So both very experienced, capable players on opposing sides, but very different styles of play. And I think that presents a bit of an opportunity for the Hong Kong Cricket Club side. If they can keep Kinu quiet and bowl well, there will be some dot balls there.
Definitely, and you know, Betty is the champion of the dot balls, right? So you know, many a match she's ended up with, you know, maybe not so many wickets, but you know, 4 overs, 8 runs, 10 runs. You know, she really keeps it down to a low level. So that's what they'll be aiming to do here, is hope that Kinu gets a little bit frustrated and goes for something that maybe she wouldn't. And just drifting down onto the leg there.
How big a factor do you think this playing on turf will be in this game? I mean, I know a number of the players, a lot of these players would have played in the Women's Premier League on turf. A number of them would play in the Cricket Hong Kong women's squads that play at Mission Road throughout the season. But with the women's game played at Pokong Village Road Reservoir, and for those that are listening that don't know that ground, it's a very, very small ground, particularly behind square, so much so that you only bowl at one end, and that's combined with being an artificial wicket with a lot of bounce, and allows for you to use that pace off the wicket, use that bounce and crack on to anything short. And it's not going to quite be as easy today, I don't think. So how big a factor do you think that's going to be?
Yeah, I think
does it favour either one of the teams?
I wouldn't say that it would favour either one of the teams. In that I think that it's a challenge for all of the girls to make sure that they're actually getting forward to the ball and not expecting that bounce up. So as you say, that synthetic wicket over at Pokong Village Road does give it a little bit of a tennis ball bounce. It pops up a bit and it does allow you to get behind the ball quite easily. I think that if the bowlers can bowl...
That's a great bit of fielding. Just interrupt you there by Chansaha, who's an experienced cricketer in her own right, cutting that down to 1. Superb bit of fielding.
And just actually for the viewers as well, we've had a change in the bowling at this commentator's end. We've got Alison Sue coming on. So making the replacement early on with the bowler and giving Jasmine a bit of a break. Yeah, so I think if the bowling can get pitched up at a good length, I do think that it will challenge the batsman quite a bit, Mark. It would be nice to see whether we can get some nice drives going today off the cross wicket.
It's a great delivery.
Just talking about pitching it up there, that was a pretty good length, and it just went past the outside edge. So
yeah, that's a great delivery, and I think you see in a lot of cricket that's played, if you're able to target those stumps and bowl it a full length, it really challenges the batsman to take the attack to the bowler, and they've got to do something to score the runs. As soon as you go short and wide, you're starting to give away freebies, and that's a great start from Alison, who, similar to Jasmine, tends to shape the ball away from the right-hander, tends to be her strength, but if she can keep attacking that off-stump, fourth-stump line, then I think she's going to give her and her team a chance to take some wickets inside this power play. Got a little bit short there, and that's pulled away into the leg side for 1.
Yeah, she can't afford to get too short there because they have got the 7-2 field today, so really relying on Allison keeping it outside off stump and looking to really attack. We've got a slip and a gully, both in catching positions there.
Yeah, well bowled. So she gets more from her teammates there, and so she should. Great start to her spell, and if she can close out this over, she'll be going a long way to help pull back what was a rather loose start from the Hong Kong Cricket Club side. Currently only 4 runs off the bat though, so it's really just those extras that have hurt Hong Kong Cricket Club early. It's a little bit short, but no run, and as people run round covering and backing up.
They seem quite upbeat in the field today, the Willow Wielders, so hopefully see some energetic fielding coming through today.
Absolutely, and that's the score. 11 without loss after 3 overs. Tracy, any thoughts on what a pass score should be here? Obviously you're aware of a lot of the scores that happen in the Women's League at Pokong Village Road, but what are your thoughts? What's a competitive score out here?
Yeah, it's a great question, Mark. It is a much bigger ground, and particularly, as you say, behind the stumps. There are a lot of runs that are...
It's a big appeal, nod from the umpire, and that's been given.
Good bowling there by Betty. She really pitched that one up and got a lot of flight, and Tinaz didn't quite get her bat down onto it.
Some huge support from the sidelines, and very vocal but small crowd at the moment. And that's the breakthrough HKCC we're after. And like we spoke about in the last over, if you're bowling it full and at the stumps, you're giving yourself a great opportunity to take some wickets, and both Allison and Betty have just shown that.
So back to your question around a pass score. I do think that we'll see quite a bit of frenetic running as we get through this innings. So obviously shots in the past where potentially were an easy 4 at Pokong Village Road might end up still going for 4, or they might actually need to run a 3. So I do think of probably 110, 120 should be what each of the teams are aiming for. Each team really needs to keep control of the extras, and I would say it does depend on the score. Really will depend on how long someone like a Kinu Gill stays in the innings. We've just had Jennifer Davies join her at the crease. So Jennifer's the keeper of the KCC team. Also a very good bat. Has not played as many games this season as in the past, so not sure on details of form. And Betty gets the edge there straight up, but it's dropping well short of the fielders. It's good over so far from Betty. 2 balls, a wicket and a dot.
Again, attacking the stumps, and as it worked away into the leg side. Yeah, a lot of experience out there in this batting partnership with Jen Davies and Kenu Gill. They've both played a lot of international cricket for Hong Kong and played a huge amount for KCC, so hopefully they'll be able to call on that experience and build a strong partnership. I would get the impression, Tracy, that Betty would be the type of bowler that you're willing to sort of let her go through her overs and ideally not give her too many wickets, and understand she'll probably be economical and look to challenge some of the other bowlers.
Yeah, definitely. I think she's put out there early on as a as kind of showing the way. Where she's kept the score down. everybody else needs to then really fight hard to be bowling as tightly as what she does. She does get wickets, but yeah, her main objective is really to put the pressure back onto the batsman and really get into the batsmen's minds. I think they probably would have looked at who did they want Betty to be bowling to, and the best batsman out there is Kinu, and they want Betty to be bowling to Kinu so that then Kinu's put under pressure from the first ball.
And HKCC, with the sort of bowling partnership of Betty and Alison, have really pulled things back here. Run rate dropped down below 3 now. The score at 11 for 1 after 4, with Kinu Gill 3 off 11 and Jen Davies none off the 5 balls that she's faced. So we see Alison continuing from the swimming pool end. Drops a bit short, and that's worked away into the leg side. That's going to go onto the bowls green, which
does speed up a bit down there.
Tends to carry on rolling, and I think that's just going to go away for 4.
So it is a long boundary there, but they didn't have anyone in that area. It was just a bit too short to be having that big open space. For those of you who don't know Hong Kong Cricket Club as a ground, there is a bowling green over there in the corner, which after the match it will be turned back into an outdoor bowls, and during the match obviously it's between square leg and fine leg. So someone like myself does not like to be fielding down there, because once the ball hits that grass it goes fast.
Yeah, it starts getting faster, all right. And I guess that's the challenge with a field set like this, is you've got no protection on that leg side, so if you get your line wrong or you get your length wrong, you are going to get hurt. Short again, and that's cut away behind point. There's a chance of her putting in a great chase, but not going to be able to pull it in. And after having a fantastic over previously, Alison, where she was attacking the stumps, it's just dropped short on 2 occasions, been hit square. It's the side sort of HKCC are reflecting on their field sets, but I'm not sure they're the deliveries that you want to be setting your fields for.
And that's one thing I've noticed a lot in the last 12 to 18 months is the thought process of the Division 1 teams around their field placements. So in the past we would have seen 2 changes in field based on those 2 shots. We would have been effectively blocking the holes from those bad balls. And she's come back well there with a good length delivery. So in the past there would have been changes and saying, they just got a boundary, I need to make a change in the field. I guess the maturity of the teams now is such that they're quite confident to say, I know where I need my field, as long as my bowlers can bowl it in that area, and let's not make changes for the bad balls. So quite a lot of maturity in the last 12-18 months. One was a bit shorter, and Kinu will be upset with herself for missing that one. There's an opportunity there. She's replaying the shot again.
Yeah. Definitely would feel like she's missed out there, but perhaps that's the awareness of their players in terms of putting out that deep point, which you probably can't see on our camera after that boundary, as a bit of protection. And looking at the pace of the wicket, I mean, it shouldn't be racing down to third man with a huge amount of pace.
Yes, agreed. I think, again, just having to assess the ground that you're playing on. At Pokong Village Road, you'd always have the third man there, because it is only a great shot.
And hit in front of point. And that's raced away for 4. It's a great shot. And
very well placed there by Kinu.
And that's her game, isn't it? She just sits there and waits for the bad ball, respects a good ball, and is quite comfortable to face a number of good balls in a row if they're bowled, and backs herself to be able to punish those bad balls. And she's done that, made a career out of doing that.
Yep.
In her long career of playing cricket, both for Hong Kong and for Kowloon Cricket Club. That's going to be a challenge for Hong Kong Cricket Club here. That's the key bats batswomen to get out.
Mm-hmm.
If they can do that, then this game and this batting innings could change rapidly.
Definitely. Mind you, KCC does have quite a bit of batting still there in the sheds. So, whilst their aim will be very much on trying to work out how to get Kinu out, there's still 2 or 3 others that are coming in after her. Not sure how that missed the stumps. I think she might have got a little bit of an inside edge on it, and seems to have gone between the batsman and the stumps and down to fine leg. A little bit of a French cut.
You see immediately with Kinu coming on strike, sweepers going out on
Both sides.
both the off and leg side. Clearly willing to protect that boundary, give her a single and focus on the batsman at the other end.
Good flight there by Betty. Really tossing that one up. Trying to entice the crossbat. I think she's hoping to get Kinu dancing down the pitch. Not sure that Kinu will do that at this point of the innings though.
Oh, very well bowled. And again, Kinu happy to play out a good delivery and bide her time and wait for that short pitch delivery, which she's hit very well on both the off and the leg side.
Another good ball. Kinu just not sure there whether to go back or forward to that one. Ended up going back.
Yeah, and you can see the turf wicket just coming into play, I guess, a little bit there, because in PKVR that ball would have bounced up, had a bit more pace, and would have been a lot easier to work into the offside off the back foot. That concludes that little mini battle between Kinu and Betty. Betty threw 3 overs now.
Looks like there's going to be a bowling change from this end. I think we might see a bit more spin. We're going to see Ruchita come on. Ruchita Venkatesh.
And some scores from around the grounds in Hong Kong. USRC Saturday Championship side taking on the Hong Kong Cricket Club Witherers side. USRC batting first at the PKVR Park ground, which will be roasting hot, an artificial wicket and an artificial outfield. They're currently 62 for 6 after 17.4 overs. And another Hong Kong Cricket Club side taking on Little Saiwan Thunder. Hong Kong Cricket Club Nomads batting first, currently 64 for 2 after 13.1 overs. As we see Ruchi getting ready to start her spell. It's broken the field.
Nicely
That's
played
a fast
there by
outfield, but it's going to be pulled in by Jasmine. And they'll take 2.
Oh, that's
Tough
a very
stuff.
good ball.
Straight past the outside edge again, just reinforcing that if you get that ball full and threatening the stumps, there's something there, and you always feel like you're in with a chance. And I think the team that's going to be able to do that the most consistent today, I would say, will be the team that will win this.
Shorter ball, not capitalised on there by Jennifer.
Captain Mariko just has a little word. Tossed up and worked behind point for one. Very well played. Thanks to all of you that are tuning in and watching the fixture. Please chuck your comments or questions in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. Hopefully we've got fans from Hong Kong and abroad tuning in and watching this final. Another one worked into the ring for one. Just singles coming a little easier this over. A few come on HKCCs in the comments box from Simon Hill.
It's a better ball there by Rucci. Again, pitched right up, so just looking to see what's going to happen here. I think they are going to bowl Betty out. Finish off her fall. So spin from both ends.
That's very interesting. They're going to bowl out Betty and she's going to go through her 4 overs currently with figures at the moment, 3 overs, 2 maidens, 2 runs and 1 wicket. It's a phenomenal spell of bowling thus far, and if she can carry that on, she's done all she can for her team, certainly in the bowling innings. As we see the field moving around a little bit.
Yeah, so it looks like they are going to be, is she going to go out or is she staying inside the ring? No, so offside, all inside.
Oh, she goes back, there's a big appeal and it's cute. And the Betty Chan fan club goes wild.
Yeah, I think Betty's brother might be sitting over there, but I don't know who that bunch of ladies are.
And I'll tell you what,
Brought her friends along.
the body language, and there's a few fist pumps there in the HKCC huddle, because they know the significance of that wicket.
Yeah.
Huge appeal, and Kinu looked a little bit dismayed, devastated to be given out. And that concludes her part in the batting innings, and a massive, massive wicket for Hong Kong Cricket Club.
And both of those wickets very similar, both moving back to a ball that, you know, probably is just kept a bit low, and basically has, they haven't been able to get on top of it with their bats. So really, that's a lesson for the others who are still there to come in. Come forward to the ball, make sure that you're actually meeting the ball as it, on the bounce, and not waiting for it to come back and bounce for you.
Yeah, it's a great reward for the skipper Mariko Hill for persisting with Betty, and a great reward for Betty for her 3 brilliant overs thus far. And that brings in Connie Wong, another incredibly experienced cricketer and athlete. So it doesn't get much easier for the Hong Kong Cricket Club side. Connie also previously represented Hong Kong at the national women's team. Score now 28 for 2 after 7.1. Comes in again, full and expected by Connie. I think she'll be quite happy to just see out Betty's over and know that that will be her done for the day. A big thank you to Hong Kong Cricket Club for offering to host this match. Most Women's League games are played on a Sunday, but in this case it's been moved to a Saturday to get the opportunity to play on turf, and what a wonderful venue to play the final. No run and 1 ball left in the over. Betty getting ready to close out. What a phenomenal spell. Currently 2 for 2. Phenomenal spell by Betty Chan, and she finishes with figures of 2 for 2 from her 4 overs. That's just absolutely incredible stuff, and you couldn't ask for anything more from a bowler that's taken the new ball at one end.
Yep.
She's done a phenomenal job for her side, picking up the only 2 wickets to fall thus far, including the massive wicket of Keanu Gill.
Yeah, I think the Willow Wilders will be very happy with that start from Betty, and now it's just up to the other bowlers to keep with that attitude and see if they can also take that on for the rest of the 20 overs.
Also a big thank you to NV Play, who provides the software that we're using to cut the images and send you this live feed. So a big thank you to NV Play. We also use their software for our performance analysis for both the men's and women's squad. So a big thank you to them. So that's full toss worked into the leg side, and they come through for 1.
Bit of a wild throw back there by Chansahar, making the keeper Lemon Chong jump a little bit higher than she would have liked to.
Certainly made it work for it.
Just punched away through cover there by Connie. Gets her off the mark.
Score predicted.
98.
And for those that are interested, Wasp currently sitting at a projected score of 98. So that's dropped short, pulled away, and I think Emma running around to try and get that, puts in a big dive, but the bowls green has another victim, and that's 4 more runs. When that ball gets onto that bowls green, it almost gets faster.
It's a little bit too short there by Ruchi.
Guess we've got a little bit of a lost ball, but back it comes.
I think if they ever pulled those hedges out from the fence there would be hundreds of balls that would come out.
I'm sure there would be plenty in there.
It's only a small hedge, but for some reason it seems to eat cricket balls.
Well, there's also a few snakes in there, Tracy, or at least there used to be, and I think there's a few people reluctant to put their hand deep into the hedge.
Very true, very true.
I'm very grateful that I'm a wicket keeper and I don't have to go anywhere near that hedge when I'm fortunate enough to play here.
Oh, and dances down the pitch there.
Oh, there's a run out
straight
chance.
to Chansahar, who is one of the strongest fielders.
And that's run out.
And that is a run out, Jen Davies. She's called a very confident yes, and then Connie Wong sent her back. Probably rightly so, I would say. It was
Absolutely.
straight at the fielder.
I feel like that was running on the shot. She
Yeah.
hit it hard, but it was straight to Chansahar, and a small little fumble, but a good one bounce throw into wicketkeeper Lemon Chung, and a run out, an unnecessary dismissal, and Just a little momentum shift, and they're the things that happen in finals that just have much bigger consequences sometimes than they do in a regular game.
Very true.
KCC now find themselves 3 down inside the 9th over.
Is it Mahin? I think this Anam. Anam is coming in to bat now. I haven't seen a lot of Anam play. She did play in the Women's Premier League earlier in the year. So score now after 8.4 overs, 3 for 34. Will be interesting to see how KCC then rebalances and starts again for the rest of this innings. Okay, the field has come back in for the new batsman. Decided that they no longer need to be protecting the boundaries at all. Everybody inside the ring.
Full again, and just defended to Miraco Hill. Tossed up and just pushed out into the covers for no run. Richie getting into her work here, and that's the end of the 9th over, 34 for 3. An eventful over with a run out of the experienced Jen Davies. And HKCC just seem to have a little bit more confidence about the way that they're walking around that ground.
And another change bowler. Obviously Betty's finished her 4 overs now from that end. So we've got Alison, who did bowl an over from the commentator's end and is now switching ends. Probably likely to get a little bit more outswing from Alison on bowling from that end, because the wind does seem to be coming across the pitch a little bit. So I guess that's what they're hoping for. Again, they're expecting a offside bowling. Got 3 on the leg side and only 1 out, and that is a deep point or a cover.
Side off, shaping away, and a play and a miss. Well, we've got a few comments come on board. Scotty Do 81 watching from California. Thanks for signing in and watching. Great to have you here. Simon Hill.
Yeah.
Relation of
Mariko's father.
Hello,
Mr. Hill.
Simon. Great to have you watching all the way from England. Dean Swanson, another one from America. Fantastic. Short and wide, and it's just hit out to the cover for no run. And a couple.
Oh, great to see there Gary and Reza watching from Korea. Reza was a player for the Willow Wielders for many years.
Ah, fantastic.
Until they moved across to Korea about August, September last year. So very disappointed to see Reza leave us. Hello Reza, Gary and Nate.
A piece of keeping there as Alison's gone wide. Tends to be a natural tendency, as if it goes wrong for Alison, tends to go wide outside off, but gets some lovely away swing. So if she can tighten up that line, she'll be challenging that outside edge of Connie Wong. Yeah, fantastic to have people watching from around the world. Thanks again for tuning in, and feel free to chuck anything in the chat box if you've got any questions for us. Diving effort, and Chansaha looks like she's about to pull that in, and it's going to go away for 2 runs.
I did just notice there with the return throw, Mariko was bowling it back to the bowler, so I don't know whether that's an indicator of her warming up and getting ready to come on. It's quite unusual to get to the halfway mark of a T20 and Mariko not to have bowled a ball yet.
Short and wide and pulled away.
And that's gotten past Jasmine at mid-wicket there.
And that's rushed away for 4 runs. Lovely shot, and despairing dive from Jasmine, but not enough to pull that ball in. And yeah, as we see, if you bowl that full and straight line, it tends to be respected, and the batswomen are really just waiting to capitalise on anything short.
Okay, important part of the innings here. Halfway through, this is the time where concentration in the field can drop a little bit. Oh, very short there.
Again. Got away with it by the looks of
Very lucky
things.
to get away with that one.
And Wasp has just crept over 100 and is up to 101. Which I think any time you start putting a score on over 100 on a reasonable sized turf ground, that's going to be very competitive. And I feel like you can always add 20 to your score in a way in a final.
Yeah.
That extra bit of pressure. Short and wide and diving effort. We've hit the bowls green, but Emma Ly's gonna pull that in as they come back for 2. So while we've got Kowloon Cricket Club and Hong Kong Cricket Club women's teams playing out there, we've got some CHK staff that also play cricket for the Craigengowr side that are sitting in the back room, the engine room of this broadcast on cameras. We've got Carrie Chan, who's also captain of the national women's team, on the roaming camera. We've got Tammy Chu as well, who's managing everything that you're seeing, changing the camera angles and updating the scores.
45?
We've also got Hayley, who will be, she's just sitting back and relaxing a bit by the looks, but we'll be on the roaming camera. We'll be on the roaming camera as well at some point.
Okay, so we have got a change in bowling here. Simon, I hope you're still watching there. Here comes Mariko on for her first ball. Oh, and it's wide down leg side, and they've scampered through for a bye as well. Just seemed to get under the gloves of Lemon there in keeping.
Great, good to know you're still there, Simon.
That's a
Imagine
much better ball.
Early hours of the morning in the UK, I'd imagine. Oh, it's not too bad. 7 in the morning. Early cup of coffee and a bacon roll and sit back and watch some cricket on the big screen, hopefully.
Don't talk about bacon rolls. You reminded me I haven't had my lunch yet.
Have you not?
No.
If anybody's in the boundary bar listening to the commentary, Tracy would love a delivery, and there's a no ball. First one of the day, and we're going to see a free hit, so be interesting to see the ball that Mariko goes for, and if Connie's got a premeditated option she's going to look for. And she comes down the ground.
Oh.
No run.
Quite a good comeback there from Mariko to end up with no runs off a free hit.
It's a little wide, and it's going down to third man. Just for the one as Ashley Hung pulls it in and takes the score to 49 for 3.
Good fielding position down there with having a third man whilst Mariko's bowling. Mariko is probably one of the paciest of all the women in cricket Hong Kong. So having that third man down there is quite important. Protect that boundary. The batsman just getting their little dinky edge.
And I'm finally off the mark. We've got another father watching, Afzal Haider. Great to have you tuning in with your two daughters playing for the Kowloon Cricket Club side. Not bowled, full and attacking the stumps and respectfully defended by Connie Wong. That run rate's crept up to 4.69. And it's also the 50 up for Kowloon Cricket Club. Wasp is sitting here telling us that the score prediction is 105 at the moment, which would present an interesting run chase, as that's
Connie's
short and pulled out, but a great bit of fielding by Chansaha.
Connie's learnt from that run out earlier, and there's no chance she's running when it's going towards Chansaha.
And with our little break, we'll go back around the grounds and catching up with the Hong Kong Cricket Club Nomads versus the Little Saiwan Thunder. Nomads ticking along to 79 for 3 after 17.1 overs. And the USRC Championship team versus the Hong Kong Cricket Club Witherers. USRC recovering a little at 92 for 6 after 23.3 overs.
Gets up in the middle of the night. Even watch the All-Star, something like that. Not mum's on.
And a very big shout out to Chris Wilson Piggott's mother, who is tuning in from the UK. I hope you've got a nice cuppa and a couple of bickies or a scone to sit back and enjoy the cricket. Allison full and outside off, and it's just nudged into cover for no run. Short and wide.
Very, very short, that one.
The umpire extends his wings and signals to the scorer's box that that ball will be re-bowled.
Just looking around the ground here, over in the behind mid-on there, we do have the SCC Davies here watching today. New team, relatively new team to cricket. Played in the Division 2, and they've come along to watch a bit of the Division 1 cricket and learn a bit more about the sport. Watch some quality cricket, see how they can improve themselves for the next season. So good to see them here, the SCC Davies and Amanesh. Thank you for coming along and supporting this match. Just behind square leg, I think we've got some CCC girls there as well. I think Dorothea is over there watching, and a couple of others there. So good to see other teams who play in this division also coming along to watch the game. Unfortunately, that's another wide from Ellison.
These extras are beginning to build up with, I think, now 16 extras now.
It is quite a community feel amongst the women's cricketers here in Hong Kong. It's relatively small competition compared to some of the other countries that may have many teams. We have a total of 9 teams split across the 2 divisions, looking to expand that out to have quite a few new teams joining again next season. But just with the 9 teams, you do find that you get to know each other relatively well. And many of the girls in this division, the Division 1, are also in the Hong Kong women's development squads and national squads. So they're playing cricket against and with each other on a regular basis.
Yeah, and I suppose that's one of the benefits of almost all of the women's cricket being based out at PKVR, is you're always seeing each other, with either playing before or after another match and seeing everybody else's cricket. You do get to see what's going on and how everybody plays, and get a fairly intimate knowledge of each other's games and styles of play.
Definitely.
Because
Ooh.
Alison's chosen to go round the wicket and really struggling to get out of this over, and has gone wide outside off again. Beautiful day here in Hong Kong. The sun is shining and it's got a little bit more of that summer feel about it. Just to our left there's a load of people sitting.
Oh,
That's a no ball.
no ball. No. She got her direction right and she didn't get her footwork right.
And that looks like it
Really?
might be a no ball for the back foot crossing the outside line. And the crowd weren't aware that there was a no ball, and there was a big celebration for the caught and bowl, but unfortunately not to be a wicket, as it was a free hit.
But a dot ball off a free hit is always a good ball, right?
Absolutely a bonus. Using a get out of jail free card. This one comes in again. It's
Oh.
another no ball. And I suspect that's for the back foot again. Ooh,
Yeah, the umpire's
it's
indicating
close,
there.
but Connie Wong coming down to Adam and just giving some advice and talking her through how best to approach the free hit. It's a great opportunity to try and score some free runs in essence, but you've got to have a bit of a game plan about how you're going to go about trying to score those. Possible run out on the cards, might have gone to the,
Oh no.
they've gone to the right end. Great bit of fielding, and Connie Wong has gone. Hesitation in the middle of the wicket, and that's a huge wicket to be lost. Great bit of keeping by Lemon. As the drinks delivery comes into the commentary box, thanks Tommy. And like all good finals cricket, there's little twists and turns, and is that going to be a little momentum shift in the way this game plays out? Is that Reenie coming out? The
That is
experience
Reenie.
of?
So happy birthday to Reenie today.
Oh, it's her
her
birthday too.
Yep. So
It just adds another layer to it, doesn't it?
it
Fantastic.
is, right? Wishing her all the best for her birthday, except for a win.
Quite iconic, Reenie in her wide brim, isn't it?
It is.
That's a staple of her batting attire.
Yep. Reenie has been involved in cricket in Hong Kong forever, and is really, as you say, an icon of the sport. She's encouraged a lot of young girls to get down and play the game. She's helped encourage people to focus on their game and, you know, get the best out of themselves, to get into the national teams. She's
Well, I'm sure she'll be absolutely loving this opportunity to be out in the middle of Hong Kong Cricket Club and in a final.
yes.
A very competitive player and would love nothing more than to be right out in the mix of the competition and having an opportunity to influence the game.
Definitely.
That ball by America, great delivery, attacking the stumps there. Ably defended. Nanda Kumar, greetings from India. Fantastic to have you watching the stream. Thanks for watching. Jericho comes in again. Short, and that's racing away on the bowls green, but almost a bit of a slide tackle down on the bowls green. I'm not sure how the groundsman Nathan will feel about that. But certainly saved 2 runs down there. So the score at 59 for 4 with just over 7 overs remaining. Full but wide down the leg side, a good bit of keeping by Lemon Chung. Extra is currently top scoring at 26, and they just keep adding up. It's proving very costly for Hong Kong Cricket Club, but their loss is KCC's gain, as that full toss is crushed out to cover, but straight to Ruchi, who ably stops it, and there's no run. For those that are just tuning in, there was a great innings by Kinu, or a great start of an innings, and which just got cut short by some phenomenal bowling by Betty Chan. So that's short and on the hip, and that's chalk that up to the bowls green, and that races away past Katie Gibbons for 4. Yeah, just reinforces that point that we spoke about a lot earlier in the game, where if you're able to consistently attack those stumps, it's incredibly difficult to score runs. But if there's anything that's short, it's an opportunity for the batting team, and the team that's able to bowl consistently at the stumps the most in this game is going a long way towards winning it.
Definitely true. A lot of the girls will get their runs through crossbat shots, used to that ball bouncing up, and so really we don't want to be bowling too short.
That's punched into cover, lovely shot. There's a big chase, and it is pulled in.
Flick that back, and Betty's doing the clean up. So well done there. Did they just get the single?
3. I think. Did they get run 3?
Or a single?
No. Oh,
Okay.
they just picked up the 1.
Little bit of laziness in the running between the wickets there.
Certainly a missed opportunity, one would think. Interesting field set here. Mariko might be going short with the deep square leg.
And she does go short, but outside off.
And that concludes the 13th over with the score at 65 for 4. And Wasp is still hanging around just above 100, Tracy, at 107, which I think could be a very interesting score if they can get themselves above 100. That's runs on the board in a final.
So right up front, I did say 110. 120 would be great, but
So I'll put you on the spot,
110.
Tracy. If you were out there, you were KCC, and you were offered 107 runs batting first at the start of the day, would you take it?
ooh, I wouldn't have at the start of the day.
Okay,
But once Kinu was out, yes, I would.
right.
Yeah.
What about if you're
Because-
HKCC at the start of the day and KCC's batting first? Would you go 107, we've done pretty well? Or would you go, we really needed to get them for less than that? There's a change of bowler,
Change of bowler, chance
of
of
Hazon, but the field set is well positioned with Ashley out at deep square leg, and it just squirts out there for 1 run.
Yeah, I think with the batting lineup that HKCC's got, that they will be confident to be able to chase down 107, if that's where we end up. But pressure of finals, as you say, it's almost 20 runs extra. So I think that in the past in our league we didn't have a playoff as a finals. We kind of over the years it has been whoever ended up on top of the league won the league, and I think we've
Flight
introduced
tonight,
great flight there. we've introduced the finals now, and the pressure of finals is very different. So some of these ladies may not have actually had that pressure in the past.
Yeah, certainly throughout a lot of the leagues in Hong Kong, there's still that sort of league structure where if you finish the top, you win it. But you know, when we think bigger picture, I think you look, the international squads in Hong Kong all compete in tournaments where there's a pool play, and then you go straight into finals, and it's a unique position to be in when you play a final, unique set of nerves you have, and there is a skill to playing in knockout sport. So I think it's a great addition to the women's cricket landscape and the program to have some cricket where there's a little bit more riding on it, there's a little bit more tension. And
I completely agree with you, particularly with, as I said, the smaller group of teams that we have here in Hong Kong. It is, you know, if one team wins the first 2, 3, 4 games, then they're ultimately going to end up first or second, right? And so, you know, it can become quite demoralising throughout the season to say, well,
huge amount of flight, but the fielders are well positioned.
Yeah, Betty just
with
jumping over
Ashley
that.
backing up the Harbour Bridge from Betty Chan. She'll lower a drink at the end of the day, I think, and Ashley looks like she's rolled on.
No, Ashley's hurt her shoulder, has she?
Rolled on her shoulder there.
Ashley has had a previous shoulder injury, so.
And that concludes the over. Takes the score to 68 for 4 with 6 overs to go.
Yeah, Ashley needs.
Looks like we've got an injury.
We've
Ashley's
got an injury, so they need. Looks
got
like
a
the
bit
12
of-
man's going to come into play.
Luckily, we've got some nurses, I believe, over in the Spectators, which is the Craigengower Cricket Club team, with a couple of nurses. I'm sure they'll look after her, and that'll see, I think, Alvina Tam,
Alvina Tam come on to take
who's
the field.
12th man, will rumble on over and get involved in the game.
We got a change in bowler here as well. We're going back to Jasmine Titmuts, who started the innings, but did have quite a tough first over. So let's hope that she can get her direction a little bit better than what it was. Is that 7 off the over? I think all of those may have been in extras.
Yeah, there was one over where I think one of the bowlers went for 2 falls. Might have been Allison, one on the leg side, one on the off. But extras have been playing a big part, and as we spoke about earlier, full and straight is the way to go, and it's well bowled by Jasmine, especially great comeback after her first over. But looking at that bowling chart that we've just had come up, Betty Chan, 4 overs, 3 maidens, 2 for 2. Absolutely phenomenal bowling figures, including the wicket of Keanu Gill. Jasmine comes in, great delivery, and pushed out to cover for no run. Niaz Ali, the umpire, extends his wings, and that is a wide. Extras continuing to feature here, rising up to a 27.
Oh, and that one might be as well.
Another one down the leg side. It really changes the landscape of the score if you take away some of those extras off the scoreline. It really, really does change the landscape of what this batting innings and match looks like. It'll be really interesting to see if that proves to be a factor at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Jasmine comes on in, rolls over, and it's over pitched outside off, and
again a lovely cover
that might
drive.
go all the way,
Yeah.
and it does, despite
She can't get to that.
despite the dive. And Ahmed doing a fantastic job for her side now after a rather conservative starters moved on to 10 off 22.
14.
And there's-
Might be 14 off.
or 14.
off
My
23,
scorecard's a
yeah.
little bit slow. 14 off 23. And that shot's just forced a field change with deep
Yeah.
cover going out.
She's played that nicely. She's played it twice, right?
Sliding down the leg side, but not wided on that occasion. The full straight one defended straight back to the bowler. Jasmine with one ball to come to close out this over. Pushed into the covers, lovely shot, and that'll be one run. Very lovely couple of cover drives in this over from Annam. That concludes the 15th over and the score goes to 75 for 4. Wasp staying steady at just over 100 at 108, which will be a very competitive total.
Looks like a big gathering over there around Ashley Hung, who went off before with a sore shoulder. So let's hope that she's all right and that we have somebody who's assessing her situation for her.
Chansaha bowling, and we've got a bit of a chat about possibly around the over rate, which you really can't afford to have an over rate issue coming into the death overs of any match, but certainly not in the final and having to rush through them. As Chansaha opens up with a wide, and it's another one to WI'd. It's pushed into the sort of vacant cover region and no interest of a run.
No, not pushing at all there. And again, that one a bit closer to Mariko. Chansaha's bowling well. Earlier in the season, she had a major attack of the yips. Got to the point where she wasn't hitting the wicket at all. So she's really come back in the second half of the season to bowl quite nicely.
Yeah, the yips, and a very interesting phenomena. So that's only taking one. I believe the numbers sort of suggest that it really affects more than any other bowler left arm off spinners.
Really?
More than any other bowler. Little unique one. If anybody can tell me why that is, that would be fantastic. But yeah, it tends to affect left armers a bit more than right armers.
Quite interesting. I'd love to
And
get
as a
the
left
sports-
armour, fortunately I'm not much of a bowler, but I've not been affected by the yips as yet, and I've probably tempted fate there, but like I say, I'm
I wonder if
fortunately a
there's-
wicket keeper.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something there in the sports psychology of left versus right
Oh,
arm.
it's lofted.
Oh,
Lovely shot, and that's 4 runs down the ground.
runs. That's a signature
And
Reenie.
the fan
Reenie
club
shot.
goes wild. Fantastic. KCC team absolutely over the moon about that. And scores around the grounds. USRC versus the Witherers. USRC 115 for 8 off 29.4 overs in a 35 over match in the very, very hot PKVR Park. And at Mission Road, the Hong Kong Cricket Club Nomads 111 for 4 against the Little Saiwan Thunder with 10 overs to go in that innings. And back to this game here, the Cricket Hong Kong Women's Division 1 2020 final. The Cowling Cricket Club maidens earlier in the day won the toss, decided to bat first, and they now find themselves at 83 for 4 with 4 overs to go. Full and straight, and that's bowled, and that brings Annam's fantastic innings to an end, leaving on 16, but 16 incredibly valuable runs for her side, and have now put them in a position where they've got 5 wickets in hand coming into the last 4 overs, and an opportunity to try and accelerate this innings if they can. Really fantastic innings, and if we go back and look at the partnerships, she would have had a big part to play in the partnerships and getting the team to the score that they are. Some fantastic cover drives in the last over. Again, full and straight, Tracy. It's the way to go, isn't it?
I'm not much of a bowler, and actually I'm not much of a batsman anymore. But as a batsman, I would say I can't understand why bowlers don't just attempt to bowl Yorkers every single ball. You know, it's the hardest ball to play against, and yes, you can get it wrong, but you've got to be able to drive it if it is wrong. So, you know, full and straight every day of the week. And that one's down leg side, so fortunately that's not going to harm us. Renu Gill.
That brings Renu Gill to the crease.
Oh, and that's a good ball by Jasmine.
Oh.
Full and straight.
Another experienced
There you go.
cricketer.
Yeah, Renu's a very experienced cricketer out there.
Despite that, wicket Wasps still unmoved at 106. Again, there we go. Jasmine's finding a little bit of rhythm here and consistently hitting that spot. Absolutely wonderful day here in Hong Kong. Very balmy. I don't know the temperature, but I'm sure it's in the late 20s. Very grateful to Hong Kong Cricket Club for offering to host this women's 2020 final. Typically all the women's league matches are played on a Sunday, but for the final we had the opportunity to bring the match up here to Hong Kong Cricket Club, play the match on turf and bring it to everybody live. So both teams agreed to shift the fixture, and incredibly grateful for the flexibility shown and to HKCC for accommodating the fixture as well, as that's hit out to point and Chantar runs round and throws that in and only goes for the one, as the fan club gives her a clap for her fielding effort. Thanks again to all of you that are tuning in from around the world. We've had people from the US, India, the UK, Korea. Absolutely fantastic to have you watching with us. If I haven't listed where you're from, please put it in the chat box. We'd love to know where you're tuning in from. As Jasmine comes in ready to, a couple of balls left in this over. The experienced Reenie. Full and straight again, great delivery and no run. That concludes the over. The score at 83 for 5. And we'll see Chansaha continuing on from the petrol station end. Yeah, it's coming into summer in Hong Kong, Tracy. I must confess, yesterday afternoon I was out doing a bit of wake surfing out in Tai Tam. Lovely way to spend the afternoon. Chansaha comes in outside off and tapped into cover for no run.
This is one of the things I've struggled the most with in moving to Hong Kong is, you know, cricket is a summer sport in Australia. And here we play it in the winter time because in the summertime it's just too humid and too hot to play. So, you know, this season we have actually extended the season out a little bit to make up for some of the time that we lost as part of the COVID. And, you know, it is really quite tough to be playing in the humid weather at the moment. So
yeah, absolutely. But it's great preparation and practice for those girls that are in in and around the national women's squad, because often those fixtures are played in Malaysia or Thailand, where it's incredibly hot, incredibly humid, so it's a good testing ground and a good opportunity to play in those conditions, but it certainly doesn't make it any easier.
So as you were mentioning weather before, I did have a quick look, and it is 29 degrees, but with a real feel of 35.
There we go. Well, I'll tell you what, the Hong Kong Cricket Club Witherers playing USRC out at PKVR Park, which is an artificial pitch on an artificial football ground, will be absolutely roasting, because the little rubber granules there are black rubber and the place just radiates heat.
Yes.
So best of luck to all of those lads that are playing out in that game.
That's your
it will
team,
be cooking.
right?
No, I'm not the Witherers, Tracy. I'm a Nomad.
Oh, okay.
So a shout out, as that's pulled away to deep square leg. So a big shout out to my Nomads who are out there batting 128 for 4 after 27 overs. Young Rahul Sharma, 39 off 43, having a great season, and the skipper Dan Klein, 12 off 9. They're playing out at Mission Road against Little Saiwan. And a big shout out to Luke Rearwigger, also known as Angry, which this is his last game for Hong Kong Cricket Club. He's been a stalwart all around playing cricket for Hong Kong Cricket Club and playing cricket in Hong Kong for decades. So it'll be quite an emotional farewell for him, I think, and hopefully he has a good game of cricket out there today. Anyway, back to the cricket here. We digress. Score moves on to 87 for 5, I believe, with 1 ball left in this over. And Wasp just dropping down to 103, so it'll be interesting. The only issue here with this partnership I see is that running between the wickets, the score's not going to be maximised with aggressive running between the wickets. There's going to have to be either regular strike rotation or finding that boundary.
Yep. Mind you, both of these ladies can find the boundaries, so...
Well, I've already seen that already from
Yes.
Reenie with that wonderful shot down the ground. We see spin come back on, with Rushita coming on.
And you will notice that, you know, the only batsman that they've had a deep mid-on has been against Reenie. They do know that she's able to hit it long and strong. Very straight bat from Reenie. Okay, so that one just out to square leg for a single. Brings Renu back on strike.
It's fantastic to see people spotted around the ground supporting this game, and the interest in women's cricket and in this fixture is very high, and it's fantastic to see some of the other teams that are in the league coming to the ground to support and follow the cricket. And like you said, it's a small, intimate community of players that play women's cricket in Hong Kong, which I'm sure everybody will be following it closely. As just goes down the leg side and Lemon manages to tidy it up.
Yeah, if there is anyone who's watching it online at the moment, any of the girls that normally play against these teams, do give us a shout out in the chat so that we know that you're out there watching.
Right, we're coming in now to the final over. Kowloon Cricket Club 93 for 5. Who's going to bowl this over? Who's going to be given the ball? The
Looks like it's going to be
experience of Jasmine.
She was given the first over and a couple of overs in between, and now she'll be taking on the last over.
It's going to be interesting to see how they approach this. Are they going to keep their field up, or are they going to put people back and they're willing to sort of go for five, 6 runs off the over in singles? There we go. Looks like there's a few people going back. They've got their 4 in the ring. Have they? We got to have 5.
They do now.
Or
They've
they're 5
got
in the ring. They've got
5 in the ring, yeah.
Jasmine
Change
Jones
is
has
pulled
a-
in. Oh,
It's hit away. Just the one though. Out to the full out and 4 square there. There's also down here at third man. Long on to just cut deep cover. Fielder running across. Oh,
and that's
The
a
old
run out.
tap
The
and
old
run.
tap and run.
a little bit of sacrifice there to get Renee, the stronger hitter, onto strike, I guess.
Or hope that Jasmine couldn't turn around as quickly as she did.
Oh.
You know, that's always a chance, you know, having
Well-
to bend down after you follow through, pick the ball up, turn around, get back to the other end.
Good awareness from Jasmine, because you actually see some pick that ball up and try to throw as they can at the stumps, even though it's completely unnecessary. So 94-6 now.
Yeah, I think this is Minida coming in. We'll just check that with the scorers, but and that's a good ball, big swing.
Squirted out,
But it has gotten past Betty there,
It's
but
just the
just a
one.
single.
Another 8 runs, 4 balls to get that 100 up, which would be a great psychological milestone to get to.
Right, rising to the pressure here. He's bowled a good over so far. Hopefully I can give another commenters. Oh, well bowled. Straight through.
Full and straight again, and takes a wicket, and it's going to keep Renee from being on strike, which is just a bigger an asset. So what about now, Tracy? If I said at the start of the day, if you were KCC, would you take 93 in the first innings, which is what they're on track to?
Yeah, I think 93. Well, so I immediately said 110. Hopefully somewhere between 110 and 120 to be a par score. I think that therefore anything under 100 has been a win to the fielding team. And given that, LBW, she's continued with full and straight. And unfortunately she doesn't get the opportunity for a hat trick because that is end of over.
And that concludes innings. So the KCC maidens have finished the innings, the first innings of this women's T20 final, on 93 for 8, which is runs on the board of final. Is it going to be enough? Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a very interesting second half to this match. HKCC will be looking to their experienced batsmen to do the job for them, and if those wickets are taken early, then this game could get tense and get exciting pretty quickly. So I'm sure the nerves will be high in the Hong Kong Cricket Club batting team as you go out. In KCC, well, they know what they've got to defend, so we will wait and see. Great support from Gary there, cheering on Jasmine. Thanks again.
So Mark, a couple of interesting things to note there. You asked me about what impact it would have playing on the pitch. you'll notice that all of the wickets there, well, there was 3 run-outs, but other than the run-outs, it was either bowled or LBW. So that's just showing you that the ability to be able to bowl straight means that there's going to be wickets there. The batsmen need to make sure that they're coming through with a straight bat and protecting those stumps, and when they don't, then they're going to lose the wicket. So quite critical that the KCC team really focuses on straight and full bowling, and the HKCC team really needs to be focusing on keeping that straight bat and making sure that they're protecting their wicket.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the bowling chart, obviously Jasmine, after a very tough first over, came back and took 3 wickets, but by far and away the pick of the bowling was Betty Chan for her 2 wickets, going for 2 runs off her 4 overs. Absolutely phenomenal, and taking the big wicket of Keanu Gill. And that certainly would have had a big impact on the score that the KCC maidens were able to get to. Looking at the partnerships that we spoke about, Annam having a big part to play in that partnership with Rini, and Keanu also featuring in the big partnership. So it's all to play with here. Probably a slightly under par score, but not one that can't be defended. There's it's runs on the board, it's finals cricket, and it'll be interesting to see how we get on. Stay tuned, we'll be back here live in about 5 minutes, ready to start the second innings. Welcome back to the Cricket Hong Kong Women's Division 1 T20 Grand Final between the Kowloon Cricket Club Maidens and the Hong Kong Cricket Club Willow Wielders. If you missed the first innings, the KCC Maidens won the toss, batted first and closed their innings on a score of 95 for 8. Be interesting to see whether that's going to be enough runs. It's certainly a score on the board, and we know in finals cricket anything can happen. So I'm sure there are still a number of twists and turns yet to happen in this game. A big thank you to Hong Kong Cricket Club for offering to host this fixture. Typically the women's division games are played on artificial wickets out at a ground called PKVR Reservoir in Hong Kong, and they're usually played on a Sunday, but the opportunity to play at a fantastic venue like this on turf was one that was relished by everybody involved, and both teams ensured that they had players available to play on a Saturday. So a big thank you to Hong Kong Cricket Club. Also a big thank you to NV Play, who are provide the software that allows us to send the stream out to you live, have the replays, the scores, and give you all of this fantastic coverage. We also use their services and their software for our analysis for both the Hong Kong men's and women's and youth squad, so a big thank you to them. As the umpires are out there in the middle trying to usher some of the kids off the ground that have come through in the quick 10-minute break and get the teams on board as Kowloon Cricket Club Maidens begin to make their way onto the field, and the Hong Kong Cricket Club Willow Wielders are wielding their willow and having a few throwdowns to get themselves prepared and ready for the match. Don't be fooled by the scoreline. That is a score that is defendable, and only time will tell to see who's going to come out on top in this final match of the Women's League. Couple of games around the grounds. Hong Kong Cricket Club Nomads batting first against the Little Saiwan Thunder at Mission Road. Nomads moving along to 178 for 4 off 32.4 overs. Young Rahul Sharma 71 off 61 balls. Skipper Dan Klein 30 off 24. And the wickets spread around. And looking ahead as well to the USRC versus HKCC Witherers. USRC all out for 138 off their 31.5 overs, and the Witherers are currently 18 without loss after 3. As we look to get started, the second innings underway. We've got Emma Lai facing up first ball, and Ruchi at the non-striker's end as Connie Wong comes in to start this innings, and it's almost like a repeat of the first innings where Jasmine bowled a few wides early and Connie Wong's followed the trend and it's a big wide outside off. So clearly there's some nerves out there, clearly a bit of pressure in this game, and a lot of passion and desire to win it from both teams. Fallen down leg, and geez, it's almost like an instant replay of the first innings.
No, I'm quite busy. Okay, sorry. I would do it.
Can I speak in Cantonese?
Full and straight and defended by Emma. And that's where Connie will want to be settling into her line and length and consistently bowling in that spot. I spoke with Tracy Walker, who plays for the Hong Kong Cricket Club Division 2 side and is a board member at Cricket Hong Kong, about the team that bowls at the stumps the most is probably the one likely to win, and as we say that, that's short and wide, and a great cut shot by Emma Lai out to point boundary, and is it pulled in? There's a bit of confusion. 2 runs are taken, and looks like they might have just pulled that in. Waiting to see, the umpires are seeking a bit of clarification, and sounds like it has been pulled in, and that's 2 runs. Looks like I've got Ravi Nagdev, General Manager looking after domestic cricket at Cricket Hong Kong, who's joined me for his debut commentary stint.
Hey Farms, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Excited to see how this second innings of this match progresses after a interesting first innings, arguably slightly under par score, but you never really know. It's runs on the board in a final.
Exactly, it's a final, it's a pressure game, and both teams have won one game each in the previous round, so anything can happen.
As Emma works that into the leg side for 1, and is the recipient of some applause from what looks like it might be the Craigengauer Cricket Club Fung Wong women's team.
Yeah, we got great support. We got the Divas here coming to support both sides. They're in the crowd. We got obviously the Hong Kong Cricket Club supporting their home team over here, and it's a great atmosphere.
It is a phenomenal atmosphere. A lot of people. As Ruchi just faces her first ball, side off, and lets it go through to the keeper. Connie Wong, after a couple of wides early, is finding her line and length and getting a lot more accurate. And we've got a bit of our team of people working behind the scenes here, making this happen. On the cameras and the production crew are actually not only Cricket Hong Kong staff, but they're players for CCC.
Yes, well, we got Tammy, who's taking over director seat today, and she's doing her debut directing stint for our production, and I think she's doing a fantastic job. We have Gary, and Haley, who are helping out with the camera work.
Wide down the leg side.
Yeah, that's wide down the leg. Niaz stretching his arms.
Yeah, they're a very talented bunch, these people. They do, their day job is doing a lot of coaching, going into schools. They obviously play cricket and are in and around the national squad, and now they're turning into professional production crew. Big appeal, but quickly turned down by Niaz. And that concludes the first over, 7 off it. So HKCC Willow Wielders will be very happy with that, with Emma Lai contributing to 3 of those and extras contributing the rest. And we saw Ravi in the first, and extras played a huge part in the innings, and I believe a top run scorer. It'll be really interesting to see how big an impact they'll have in having the second innings.
Yeah, I hope not. Hopefully most of the runs come off the bat. That's what we want to see. Coming back to your point, I think with the Cricket Hong Kong staff, it's important for all of us to be multifaceted, multi-talented, and we have over here Trent Johnson, who, along with doing head coach of the Hong Kong team, also is part of our commentary team. TJ, that's probably the best lead-in for you to take over the chair.
Is that right?
Yeah.
A nice glass of Chardonnay over there too, that's just gone to waste.
As opening at bowling, we've got a left arm over coming in, a rare breed in Hong Kong. And the first ball worked out to deep square leg. Off camera, there's actually Kowloon Cricket Club using their 2 sweepers with a deep square leg and a deep cover sweeper. Full and worked into the leg side.
Little bit of in-swing there, Mike, wasn't it?
Traditional leg arm in-swing. Big welcome to big Trent Johnston, coach of the Hong Kong men's team, the commentary box. Pulled him away from the nice air conditioning of the boundary bar, and no doubt some great hospitality up there to join us in the outdoor commentary booth as no one comes in, and it's a wide down the leg side. What did you make of the first innings, TJ?
Thought it was pretty interesting. Obviously, HKCC probably would have been a little bit disappointed with the radar with the ball. A lot of wides and no balls, which obviously gave KCC the opportunity to post a score of 95 in this final. You see the umpire's arms going again. I'm sitting out here in the heat and I have to lift my arms up every now and again too to control the moisture that's starting to form underneath there, getting out of the air conditioning. Mark, thanks very much for that.
Yep. Actually stuck to the scorer's box, which is air conditioned. It's a bit of a tease, really. As the left arm was. Emma moves across the crease and laps that through the vacant fine leg as it trickles along and over the boundary for 4 runs. Fantastic. Great awareness to read the inswing in the vacant fine leg area to open up and access that area of the ground. And play the shoelace.
Positive stuff from HKCC, 15 this into the second over. KCC really need to get wickets here and put HKCC on the back foot. A modest total, nothing sort of outstanding about it at Farms, and obviously we spoke about the extras that were the bold that got it to that total, but when you're playing finals cricket, it's funny things can happen.
A swing, aggressive shot, and just one bounce to Reenie. Signal of intent there from Emily, looking to be really positive here, walking across her stumps and lapping for 4 a little bit earlier, and that was full and wide outside off, and she's had a really good crack at that.
Oh, bowler!
That's a fantastic delivery.
Outstanding ball.
Delivery.
You can just see from our angle here is probably not great, but just bringing that ball back into the right-hander there, and Emma's gone to drive that ball, and it's gone through in between bat and pad and collected off stump. Beautiful piece of bowling that.
Yeah, like you're saying, TJ, finals sport, finals cricket, funny things can happen, and probably not the total KCC would have been after, but nevertheless it still runs on the board in a reasonable volume of runs that's enough to create a few speed wobbles.
Yes, absolutely. The girls give themselves a little bit of a cheer there as they break up from their group discussion, and Mariko Hill coming into the crease now, and it's a big wicket here for in the context of this game. If Mariko bats 10 overs, well, the game's over, and if they can get her out relatively quickly, like you said, you know, all of a sudden things start to spiral.
Absolutely, and a shout out to Mariko's dad, Simon Hill, who's watching. Stop biting those nails. Relax. Yeah, a bit like we were speaking earlier about the matchup, particularly the batting matchups, with Keanu Gill being the sort of batsman to watch out for KCC, and Mariko Hill's going to be the one to watch out for HKCC. On the money first ball, and ably just defended and tapped back to the bowler, and that concludes the second over, and the Hong Kong Willow Wielders will be more than happy with the runs, currently at 15 for 1, just losing Emma Lai in that over. Looks like there's going to be a change of bowling. Connie Wong's rotated out of the attack after 1 over. And it looks like it might be Anam Ahmed to come into the attack after a very good little batting innings where she steadied the ship for KCC through the middle of the innings, played some lovely cover drives. She's into the game early in the fielding innings too.
Yeah, batted very well in the first innings for a 16. A lovely cover drive off Jasmine Titmus through the offside there and crashed into the pickets for 4. Let's see how she goes here with the ball. And like I said, if it's early wickets that KCC can get, you know, all of a sudden 95 looks like a 125. So it's a big part of the game now.
Great bit of running between the wickets, and worked into the leg side for 1. Very good backing up and a call from Mariko there to rotate the strike. The other leg side, and
Your Nomads playing today, Farms. What's the latest and greatest there with the Nomads?
The mighty Nomads have had a phenomenal finish, ending at 211 for 5 off their 35 overs against the Little Saiwan Thunder. They are playing on artificial out at Mission Road. And a big game for the Nomads. This is the send-off game for Luke Rehrweger, also known as Angry.
Okay.
His last game for the Hong Kong Cricket Club before he relocates back to Australia. Has been a regular.
20 years he's been here, is that right?
Yeah, he's been here for a very, very long time, and was fortunate enough to play last week in his last match up here at Hong Kong Cricket Club, and today being his last match altogether. And that's a glorious shot, overpitched, outside off, and crushed for 4. And I can feel the fist pump and the clapping from Simon Hill as he's just jumped out of his chair in the UK and applauds his daughter. Thanks for watching, Simon.
Yeah, beautiful shot. Just put her hands through, a little bit too full there, and Mariko's just climbed into that. And again.
Oh, threaded a very small gap, and that's 4 more. Lovely, lovely cover drive. Well, this is very, very, as we spoke about, Mariko, very different to Kinu Gill for KCC, who tends to play a much longer innings. Mariko more than happy to take the attack to the bowlers and can change a game very, very quickly. And if she carries on like this, that score of 95 in the first innings will look very small.
Looking down at the end of the table here, we see the national coach and Chris Pickett, a little smile on his face, sitting down here watching the final. Wondering when he's going to get his next can of full-strength Coke. Actually, sorry, Sprite. He's got about 7 cans down there already.
Ooh, short and almost caught the glove and went round onto the stumps. Yeah, the other game around the grounds, TJ, is USRC Championship side versus the Hong Kong Cricket Club Witherers. USRC 138 all out at the very hot PKVR Park ground, and the Witherers are 26 for 1 after 7 overs.
And man in the runs again, Luke Voice. Geez, he's having a great couple of weeks, isn't he?
Yeah.
120 there last week against Pakistan Association, followed up the day before he got 80 odd not out. So yeah, how did Jarvid go in that game, Farms?
Let's have
Get
a
any
look,
runs?
actually.
6.
6 off 15.
Wow.
So we see Sabargul coming in again with their left arm over bowling, hoping to take another wicket and hoping to take that of Mariko Hill. And if we see her wicket fall, I'm sure you'll see a big celebration from the KCC side, as that will be their opening and their opportunity.
See a wide there, another wide. You can see the field they got set out. They got their 2 players back square of the wicket, sort of like a deep cover point and a deep square leg, and then you've got just a ring of fielders on the offside. Relatively tight mid wicket. It's good bowling, right on the mark again. And this is what they've got to do to Mariko. They've got to challenge that off stump, challenge that front pad, put pressure on her. good running.
Great bit of running between the wickets by Rucci, calling through Mariko as that ball just went behind point.
And even though we're only a few overs into their innings here, Mark, you can already see the running between the wickets is the difference between both teams. A couple of run-outs in the KCC innings and nervous calling and just running, where you see these two experienced international players, you know, dropping the ball and running, knowing that gap's there, that they can take that single. Good understanding between each other. I think that's a key factor in this partnership early on.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes a lot of pressure off and you maximise any run scoring opportunity that's out there. And you can just see with the way that, oh, there we go, as we talk about that, I spoke earlier with Tracy as well about the fact that these players know each other so well, they play each other a lot. It's a small cricket community that they'll have a good idea of the fielders that they can challenge and take singles to and those that they can't. And it looks like they're really using that knowledge to their strength at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a crush, but crush just for one as it's half stopped by the extra cover fielder. And the KCC are going to have to find a way to stop the flow of runs here as the Hong Kong Cricket Club Willow Wielders race along to 30 for 1 after 4 overs. 31 for 1 after 4 overs. Looks like they're going to carry on with Annam. Mariko Hill raced away to 11 off 8 balls, ably supported by Rucci 3 off 8.
Yeah, Mariko's come out and she's taken the majority of the strike. And I think that's what you want, especially if you're supporting HKCC, you want your best player facing as many balls as you possibly can to really put a dent in that target. The total that KCC got of 95 for 8. Annan comes in again. That's wide. Oh, and that's a massive chance. That's a big chance. Is that the moment where KCC could have had a hand on that trophy, Farms, or will Mariko make them pay now and go on and get a good 30 or 40 not out and get a team over the line?
Yeah, it's interesting, TJ. I mean, just look at the field set and I see Kinu Gill, one of the strongest fielders. She was out at the cover sweeper and it just makes you wonder whether that was the right fielding position for her to be in, whether she should be in one of those spots where there might be a catching opportunity.
Yeah.
And as we say that, there's a no ball over waist high and Rucci's going to face a free hit here.
Where do you think she's going to go here, Farms?
Well,
does she clear the front leg? Does she bring in the reverse
I think
sweep?
it's going to be trying to hit in front of square. Yeah, the communication between these two batsmen is fantastic. They knew straight away that as soon as that ball went up in the air, there's an opportunity for a single, and there was no ball watching going on. It was straight to work to take that run, which is fantastic to see. But not positive signs for KCC after that ball was dropped. No consequence to that, but finals cricket, you need to make the most of every chance that comes your way. Slog sweep over the top and straight into the corner of the ground for 4 runs. A fantastic shot.
Yeah, there's certainly no nerves there from Mariko. She's not fazed by the situation, by it being a big final, by captaining her club here at HKCC, for her to get out there and if the ball's in her hitting area, she's hitting it. As we see there, she should have dropped on the back knee and slog swept that ball over mid wicket for a couple of bounces to the boundary. like to see a sweep again there. Don't leave anything down the leg side, young lady. It's a free hit. Smash it.
Oh, it's another drop. Short and wide, and Mariko's tried to have a crack at that, and rightfully so, but went back to the bowler who hadn't got a hand on it, and that goes down as another drop chance.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Mariko was trying to hit that. She's tried to almost play a ball that's wide down the offside and hit it straight back to the bowler. Certainly more room square of the wicket for her to be hitting that cricket ball. Well bowled.
Mariko just lets that ball go, and that concludes the 5th over, and the Willow Wielders racing along here and all the way up to 41 for 1 after their 5 overs. And see, it looks like one of Craigendow Cricket Club players, Paul Toe, was just signed in. Paul Toe, great to have you watching the game. We see a change of bowler again. It looks like Keanu Gill might be coming on. No.
Sabah. Is it?
Yeah, I find that an interesting tactic. Keanu being one of the best bowlers, or currently the best bowler in the league. You'd want to get that match-up going, wouldn't you? Try and take that, what is a critical wicket of Mariko Hill to open things up.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, she can't be sitting out there batting for an extended period of time, because the total of 95 will be tracked in very quickly. So it's wickets at a premium here for KCC. Off in the distance you see the KCC coaching staff in a tick and whack a bucket, chewing fingernails.
Just wide outside off. Extras again playing a huge factor in this game. Already 14 extras in this KCC bowling innings. And that will be another one. Oh, it's a no ball, I apologise. That will see Ruchi facing all the free hits, and she's going to have another crack. Really like to see her loading up onto the offside and trying to hit over that mid-wicket area, try and get that power into the shot.
Shot.
Oh, it's a lovely shot. Wide outside off, and she's crushed it straight down the ground for 4 and made the most of that free hit opportunity. Fantastic shot.
Yeah, that's a serious cricket shot. Straight back over the umpire's head. Not a great delivery there, but certainly the way she played that shot was with a bit of confidence, and obviously knowing it was a free hit and she couldn't be caught. And love that. I love that. Straight after a boundary, rotating your strike. It's beautiful cricket.
Yeah, phenomenal backing up by Mariko. As soon as you back up that much, the single's on every time if she's running to the danger end. And look, it does any coach. Keeps every coach happy if they get to see that and see their players running between the wickets like that. Just wide down the leg side. It's wide.
Wide.
Oof. Lovely ball and well respected by Mariko. Lovely bit of classic left arm in swing, but the bulk of the hard work looks like it's been done by the Willow Wielders, and it's just a matter of controlling the game from here. So again, They rotate the strike.
Certainly no two there. Yeah, cracking day here in Hong Kong, isn't it, Farms?
Absolute belter, TJ.
Weather's been a bit disappointing leading up to this game, but certainly cricketing gods are smiling on us today. Beautiful wicket here at HKCC with Nathan and his ground staff. Outfield looking like a bowling green.
Got a previous Kowloon Cricket Club head coach Richard Waite watching. Shout out to Richie.
Yeah, certainly wickets. We need wickets now, KCC. We'll maybe try a few things, bring a few fielding positions up, squeeze them. Do we have any spin in the KCC team, Farms?
I don't know if there's a huge amount of spin in there. I think they're really looking to. They'll be looking at Kinu to be the person to come in and carry on her form from league cricket throughout and take the wickets. I mean, if we look at the bowling charts for the league, she's sitting there at number 1, having taken 19 wickets from 10 matches.
Yeah, so I think where the balance of the game now offers no real sort of call there. They just look at each other and a little nod and off they go. It's brilliant stuff.
Yeah, they still play a huge amount of cricket throughout their junior cricket, senior cricket, Hong Kong Cricket Club, and also the Hong Kong Women's team. Yeah, might not be early. 6 really down there early in there. I mean, a few more.
Kino just bowling a short wide one there. Mariko sort of was looking to hop into that and missed out opportunity. She gets another chance here now. It's well fielded at backward point. Flash pair of shoes there. You've got to be pretty good to pull off an orange pair of shoes in a cricket game, Farms. Looks like we've got Ehsan Khan watching the live feed at the moment. Hope you're doing well, mate. Sitting down watching the coverage with his 3 girls, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some future cricketers, hopefully, for the Hong Kong team. Ehsan, I hope they've got a bat and ball in their hands ready to, and you're training them.
Just looks to me that Keno sort of brings the ball back into the right-hander. That probably just held a little bit and Ruchi got a leading edge, but it didn't go to hand, so that was quite fortunate for HKCC, and that brings an end to the 7th over, and it's 56 for 1. Any chicken biryani coming today, Farms, do you know?
No biryani, no.
Okay.
I had a lovely salad for lunch.
Okay.
And then I do believe there might be sort of a curry on afterwards, TJ. Maybe
Okay.
The butter chicken.
Okay, right.
I believe both teams will be going up to one of the function suites and having a chat about the game and how it's gone. And like we said, these teams know each other very well, so I'm sure they'll enjoy the opportunity to reflect on the match, as that's cut through point for 4. Lovely shot, and KCC looking for answers. There's a change of bowler at that end. Connie bowling, and her first ball short and wide outside off, and got the treatment from Mariko.
Yeah, and you know how important were those 2 drop chances a couple of overs ago in the same over to Mariko. She's certainly made them pay. She's on to 23 off 19 now.
Respectful of a good straight delivery by Connie Wong. We spoke at the start of the day that the team that was able to bowl at the stumps the most was going to have a good chance of winning it, and HKCC need to start targeting those stumps a little bit more. Wide through, sweeper's going to come around and cut that off. It'll just be the one run. Yeah, it's interesting looking at the field set and fielders that are around the place, and a lot of balls going through point, and it's probably, I guess, a sign of the areas that you're bowling, but you've got to really be strategic about where you place your fielders and your best fielders. What are the hot spots that you're most likely to get those chances, and make the most of those.
Yeah, he was talking about what you just said a minute ago about bowling straight and bowling full and trying to attack those stumps. Just haven't probably done that as well as what they probably would like, KCC. Solid defence there from Rucci. And you know, HKCC can just get into cruise control here and just canter home, chasing another 30 odd runs, 35 runs for victory, 12 overs, so they've done an incredible effort here to get to where they are now. Probably, what is it, 7.5, just over 7.5 runs per over. We certainly won't need Duckworth-Lewis today, but there, you know, the Duckworth-Lewis par score at present's only 33, so they're well ahead of that.
Yeah, the HKCC dugout looking very, very relaxed, with everybody sat on the bench. Just, I don't know if I can even see anyone padded up, TJ.
Yeah, well, there you go. Very confident. Who would likely come in next? Would it be Jasmine come in next, would it? Katie Gibbons?
Sure, I think Jasmine would be a likely person to come in next. But
who else we thinking? Who else could we? Lemon?
Lemon again, quite an aggressive style of play.
Yeah. I'd love to have seen Lemon out there in a few ramp shots. She likes the ramp, doesn't she?
Absolutely. Good wicket keeper, likes to hit behind square and hit different areas.
Very solid behind the stumps in the first innings, she was. And that bright red helmet she was wearing.
And again, another great bit of running between the wickets. Pushed out almost straight to a fielder, and they're just the awareness these two have is absolutely fantastic.
Fielded there. What's happening around the grounds, Farms?
And around the grounds, the Nomads, after posting 211 for 5 after 35 overs, now have Little Saiwan 2 down for 8 runs.
Wow. Been a tough year for Little Saiwan, hasn't it?
Very tough year. Very tough year. And probably the match of the day that you want to be watching is USRC versus the Witherers. I think the Witherers need to win this game to avoid relegation. Chasing 138, they're currently 48 for 3 after 13 overs. Voicey's still there though, in his rich runner form.
Javed Iqbal bowling his little nude off spinners from about 2 foot high. Targeting the stumps he would be. Had the pleasure of playing against him last week. A feisty little customer.
I believe he gave you a chance, TJ. He was caught and bowled, and he just palmed it off just to let you carry on with your carry on with your innings, which is nice of him.
Yeah, yeah.
We see a glove change, and that's a signal of the heat out there. Glorious day here in Hong Kong. Balmy 28 degrees. Probably feels a lot hotter out there. Connie Wong is going to continue, entering into her third over.
Yeah, so you can almost see the tactics now of KCC. It's all in. They're going to bowl the most experienced bowlers up here now. Try and get the wicket of Mariko Hill and maybe a couple others after that.
Ooh. Mariko going for a slog sweep there. Straight through to the gloves of Jen Davies.
You obviously see where Mariko's trying to hit that ball, and probably I wouldn't have expected Connie to be putting mid-on straight back after sort of getting a false shot like that play. You've got to keep your field up, you've got to keep the pressure on. See if Mariko will make a mistake, see if she'll give you another chance. And unfortunately she's given you 2 chances and haven't been able to take them. The other side of the field, and you've got the Divas in there watching some cricket, which is great to see, Farms.
Yeah, it's fantastic to have the Divas here. Big contingency that have turned up today to watch the game. Absolutely fantastic to have their support. The Divas team in Division 2 of the women's competitions. I think we've also got a little bit of a Craigengower Cricket Club fan club over by the pavilion.
Okay.
Connie's beginning to get into her stride here, but I suspect it may be a little bit too little too late. She's just over halfway through her third over.
Good piece of fielding there from the wicket keeper, but all to no avail, and they've got through for another cheeky single again. So the running between the wickets here from HKCC has been first class. Again, I sort of look down the end of the table, I can see the national coach smiling. He's a happy man. Assistant coach behind us in Sack Lane, he's taking it easy in the shade of the Coolabah tree.
That concludes the over. Score remains at 64 for 1, and that's the halfway point. But the Willow Wielders well on track here with this partnership, flying along. Clearly the wicket to take is Mariko Hill, and if they can do that, then they'll feel like that they've got an outside chance to create a bit of an upset from where we are now.
I think it's got to happen pretty much this over, I reckon, Farms.
Well, Kina is entering her third over. She will be the bowler they're looking to take this wicket. Again, they're putting the field back, and I think they're in a position where you just got to keep them up and chance your arm a little bit. It's just defended into the offside.
Carrie on the roving camera today, Farms. I see she's actually doing some work for once.
Doing a fantastic job.
Thank you very much.
Yep, no, the team that's working behind the scenes is a very talented, hard-working bunch. We've got our cricket development staff here working the cameras, Carrie on the camera along with Hayley, and Tammy directing and producing and mixing all the camera angles, and these are their normal day job is out there coaching schools and sharing the love of cricket and getting people into the game, but they also do an incredible job for us, helping us run these productions and these streams as ball goes through the keeper, and that's 4 byes. It's just not getting any easier for KCC.
think the effort that Tammy's put in here today might see Natesh under a bit of a question next time we get a production like this in order. Do we need Natesh?
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely phenomenal. And speaking of Natesh, I believe he's playing a game of cricket today, so I have to try and
Is that right?
fetch out his scorecard.
I don't think it's been.
You see that ball driven through the covers for one. Mariko just plods up and down the wicket. Niaz signals to his mate two left.
Yeah, you look at this little bowling partnership they've got going now, and you just wonder what would have happened if they had them bowling up front and just having a little bit more pressure when there's no runs on the board.
Yes, Rucci just defends that ball out to point again, and there's no run. Brings up the end of the 11th over, and it's 1 for 69. Or 69 for 1, depending on where you were brought up, Farms.
Yeah, there's a few different ways of saying it.
But whichever way you say it or look at it, it doesn't look good viewing or listening if you're a KCC supporter.
No, certainly not at the moment.
Connie starting her last over. I heard a little noise there, Mark.
I heard a little noise there too, TJ. I thought that might have been a little shtick behind, but no one else seemed to think so, so I guess not.
No.
It's punched out to point for no run. These two batsmen just quite happy to sit in here and see off two of KCC's stronger bowlers and look to pick up the runs off the rest. Lovely straight drive and no run. I believe Connie might have just got a little hand on that to take the sting out of the shot.
Cloud cover coming in, cooling off a little bit here now. Hong Kong Cricket Club. It's full. Mariko's dealt with that the way it should have been. Off to the mid-wicket boundary for 4. Takes the total to 73. Mariko on to 30 out. Farms brings out the chewing gum.
Short and wide, and they scurry through for a quick single. Yeah, it's just been a very clinical display thus far by this batting pair. One in which KCC just have not had an answer to. I think they'll be looking back at certainly just in this fielding innings of what could have been had one of those catches been taken.
As we saw a top edge sweep shot there. Lucian a pick up 2. Mariko looking to come back for a third, but certainly not on the cards there.
Peter coming back onto bowl, and looks like Rita Hyder's getting warmed up. Oh, it's a delightful cover drive, and that's gone through extra cover for 4, possibly a widen it off. Brilliant shot, and KCC just not having an answer to what is proving to be a phenomenal batting display, particularly by Mariko, but as a partnership, couldn't be much better. Another hopeful appeal from behind the stumps.
Who do we have else to come into bowl here, Farms? Who are we looking at to throw the ball to now that can hopefully get 2, 3, maybe 4 wickets
I think
before they get to 90?
Reader or Maheen Hyder.
Okay.
Come in and bowl some medium pace.
Right.
Ooh. Big appeal for a stumping. Sharp bit of work by Jen Davies. As Mariko looked to launch that over the groundsman's shed. Yeah, I believe Reenie's been known to have a little trundle every now and then, but I think really this is your strike bowler, so you're looking at Hyder sisters.
It's just glided through the gully area. Mariko again, very, very good running, and turns and cruises back for a second there, and it really is turning into a cakewalk here for the HKCC Willow Wilders. Mouthful.
It is a mouthful. It's a bit of a tongue twister. And that concludes Kinu's 4th over. She finishes with figures of 4 overs, no maidens, none for 11. Tidy spell, but one in which you just wonder what might have happened if she'd come on early in the innings before the scoring rate got out of control. And as we spoke about, Rita Hyder coming on from the petrol station end. Short, pulled away. We just
Direct hit. I reckon that could have been close. May have just opened the door a little bit.
they're
there.
running back for a buzzer. Overthrows, and Rishi's
The big dive.
struggling away there.
Woo. Great
Right.
dive in there.
The HKCC camp, arms and hands and faces and hands in the air, not knowing what's going on, but all's well that ends well, and they've added 2 more to the score.
You look like somebody running up a wet beach, didn't you?
It's another extra to the total, and that takes the extras to 26.
Wow. 30 in the first innings too, wasn't there? Wides and no balls.
Yeah, costly, very costly. See another one added to the tally. Yeah, it's never going to be easy defending any total, let alone a small total, if you're not able to control those extras and keep them in check. It's pulled away for just the one.
A piece of fielding there from Kino, coming in off the boundary, attacking that ball hard, and a good flat throw into the wicket keeper, into Jen. What's Mariko going to do here? I fear if the ball's short, as it has been consistently this over, it could be dispatched through mid-wicket area. We've gone full.
That's a no ball.
And she was out by a good 2 metres, 3 metres there if it was a direct hit. It's a no ball, so Ruchi's got another free hit, Farms.
Yeah, Mariko just given that one away, hasn't she?
Just sort of hold it there, I'll take the free hit, thanks,
Yeah,
no single.
Absolutely. Ruchi, you've had a couple already. I want one.
Yeah,
I want a
one.
bit of the action.
Yeah.
Not to be. It's short and pulled away, and Kenny races around to pick that up, and very good bit of fielding straight over the stumps at the bowler's end. Well, I'll tell you what, Mariko Hill stolen the show here along with her batting partner Ruchi, who's put together a phenomenal partnership.
Still plenty of chat going on out there from the KCC players, which is good to see. Haven't given up. That
Sure.
could be it.
That's 4 runs, and that
4
is the
runs and
game.
victory.
Comprehensive win and a phenomenal batting display by Hong Kong Cricket Club Willow Wielders, in particular Mariko Hill, who will finish on, I believe, 42 off 48 balls, and Ruchita 16 off 43. I stand corrected. Just waiting for confirmation that that's the match, and absolutely phenomenal display, and that will see Hong Kong Cricket Club Willow Wielders crowned champions of the Cricket Hong Kong Women's Division 1 T20 League for 2020-21 season. Fantastic display all round, and certainly the best team on the day. A big thank you to everybody that's tuned in with us to watch this stream. It's been fantastic to have you on board for this live streaming of this match. Thank you once again to Hong Kong Cricket Club for offering to host the match, and NV Play for providing the software for us to stream this match live and around the world. And also a big thank you to our production team here who have made this stream possible. Tuning in, we'll be ending our stream shortly, so thanks again, and we'll see you soon.